Shalom Aleichem, we're in Parashat Vayechi. I want to share with you a story connected to Parashat Vayechi. In the Parasha, we hear that Yaakov Avinu wants to be buried in the land of Israel. He's asking Yosef, please do not bury me in Egypt, because I know if I'm going to be buried here, I'm going to be part of their idol worship. That's the last thing that I want to do. So a year and a half ago, I got a phone call from a friend in London. His name is Rabbi Yossi Vogel, a very sweet person. He called me and he told me, listen, Dror, I need your help. There's a matter here that I need a miracle in India, and I thought maybe you can make the miracle. So I told him, I don't know if I'm able to make miracles, but please share with me the story and let's see what we can do. Said that there is a person here in London, his name is David. He's quite an old person. He's not keeping any Torah and mitzvot till today yet. But he came to me with a very weird request. He said that he has a brother that used to live in India for the last 10 years, and this brother passed away. The name of the person in India is Jack. And the last request of Jack was that he will be burned. His body will be burned. So David came to Rabbi Vogel and told him, is it possible to have a person that will say the Kaddish when they are burning the body? So of course Rabbi Vogel was very surprised from this request, and he was begging David to bring him to Kever Israel to bury him, but David was saying it's not possible. This was his last request, and I'm not gonna change my mind. I'm the apotropos on him, and I'm the one who's deciding. So he called me. Yosef called me, and I told him, listen, Rabbi Vogel, maybe you don't know, but India is a huge, huge place. So first of all, you have to find out which state in India this person is at, and then you should find the area number, and then you should find the city name, and then you should find the village name, and then you should find the hospital name in which the body is at. So after a few hours, I get a phone call that the body is in place which is called Goa, in a very tiny village in Goa. So I told him, okay, let me give a phone call to my friend in Goa, the Shaliach in Goa. His name is Ro'i, and let's see what he can do about it. And I called Ro'i. I told him, do you know a guy named Jack? He said, no, I'm here for quite a long time, but I'll go to the hospital and I'll see what's going on. He went to the hospital, and indeed in the hospital there was a dead person. His name is Jack, from London. Nobody knew that he's Jewish. Not even his close friends in the village knew that he's Jewish. So then we had to work in a few directions. First of all, we had to try and convince David to make a request to bury his brother. Then we had to also try and convince the Indian friends to let go and to send him to Mumbai and to bury him over there. Both of these directions looked like impossible. David didn't want to move a step ahead, and the Indians were sure that the best thing for him is to burn him. And then we said we cannot say a Kaddish unless the body is being buried in the ground in the way it should be. And we also try to explain to the Indians that it will be their merit if they can help this Jew to make a mitzvah and to bury his body in the right place. It looked like there is no way out of it, and we were quite frustrated from all of that. But in the last minute, we got an advice from the person who is the shliach in Bombay, and he said that there are two cemeteries in Bombay. One is for general community, and one is a very special cemetery, which is the Sassoon family cemetery in Mumbai. So Rabbi Vogel talked to David and told him, listen, there's a very special cemetery of brothers Sassoon. Would you like to bury your brother over there? When he heard the name Sassoon, he said, yes, my brother was a friend with this family. That's a great idea. I agree, I'm signing the papers, I'm ready to send him to Mumbai and to bury him over there. It was just like the last minute miracle. And it was under a lockdown because of the corona, and everyone was, it was very hard to make the paperwork with the embassy and everyone. But thanks God, finally, this person, Jack, which is actually Yaakov, this is his Hebrew name, was buried with a minyan, with a Kaddish, in a Jewish cemetery in Mumbai. Now this is called a person who is in this situation is called Met Mitzvah. It's a dying person, which is it's a mitzvah, it's a command to help and to bury him in the right place. But we can look on this idea in a wider view. A mitzvah that nobody wants to do, it's also a dying mitzvah. And a Jew that nobody wants to help him, it's also a dying mitzvah. So when we see someone, or we are at a situation that nobody is taking responsibility, we have the opportunity to save the situation and to save the person, to save that soul. So we have to be very sensitive and see what we can do. Another very beautiful point about this story is that it's the same names of the parasha. The buried person was called Yaakov, and the shliach who was mostly involved in this his name was Yosef. So it's maybe a reincarnation in Yosef and Yaakov again. Who can know? And he was buried in Aleph Menachem Av, which is the yortzeit of Aharon HaKohen, the person who was spreading love all over the Jewish people. So Be'ezrat Hashem, we should be inspired from that, and we should know that we can always help in some way. We shouldn't lose hope in any case, and the fact that we have the blessings from Yaakov Avinu and Yosef HaTzadik gives us the ability, the power to stay strong till Mashiach comes.